Hi, welcome. I'm Cadet Inspector Muhammad Zaim, and today we are going to find out more about presentation skills. It is an important skill for all of us to present ourselves well. Do you have your cadet manual ready to take down notes? This is the scope that we will be covering for this lecture. What to take note of before the presentation and during the presentation. Then, we will go through the types of presentation that we can use and some tips for presentations, which include choosing the right venue and duration, body language, and how we speak during the presentation. Before we begin, what is an ideal presenter in your point of view? Write down your opinion in your cadet manual, and your cadet inspector will go through with you the next training. This triangle shows you the 3 A's in preparation. They are analyze your audience, organizing agendas for your presentation, and defining actions. We'll cover these in the following slides. Firstly, analyze your audience. Imagine you are a salesperson at Courts and you wish to sell at least one camera every week. Think of the following questions in order to determine your aim. Why are you giving this presentation? Who do you need to convince? What effects do you want to achieve? How much time do you have? What's the best way to do it? Answer these questions in your cadet manual. With those questions in mind, it helps you to find your aim, which will bring the proper intention and message across to the audience. Next, defining the actions. When you give your presentation, what actions do you want them to take? For example, do you want them to change their lifestyle by bringing across an environmental tip? What or how do you want them to feel, believe, and do after hearing your presentation? Write down your thoughts in your cadet manual. Using the same previous example, where you are a salesperson at Courts trying to sell cameras. When you present, you should have an agenda with you so that you have a proper flow. Some tips are to keep to the point so that the audience will not get carried away or be confused, as introducing many points will confuse your audience of what you are trying to bring across. Remove irrelevant content. Develop your overall content with a structure by linking related points together and summarize your points at the end to reiterate your point. This triangle shows you the 3 factors that will give a successful presentation. They are the presenter, venue, and audience. The venue and setting must be right. The presenter must be prepared, and the audience should be listening to your presentation. Here are a few different types of presentations that you can make use to bring across your message. Be creative and don't always stick to the norm. Here are some tips on choosing the venue and duration for a presentation. The venue itself will be dependent on the nature of the presentation. For example, an English class should be taught in a classroom, while an art class should be taught in an art room. Ensure that it is comfortable for your audience with adequate lightings and functioning facilities, and also sufficient break time for your audience to take rest and digest what you have just said, before continuing with the presentation. And here are a few tips for your presentation. Always face the audience, as eye contact is important. Imagine someone talking to you but is not looking at you. Will you feel the need to listen to him? Also, try to engage your audience so that they will not drift off and they will always be attentive to you. As a presenter, try to rehearse what you are presenting beforehand and remember the main points that you are trying to bring across. This will make it easier for you to remember the flow of your presentation. If you forget, do not panic and just glance back to the monitor or screen for the main point, and continue with the presentation. Having said that, do not read off the screen or monitor, as the audience will think that you are unprepared and not professional. Try to step away from the monitor and go closer to the audience to gain more attention from them. Imagine someone shouting to you from far, and another person is in front of you talking. You will definitely give more attention to the one in front of you. Another trick that you could do is to shift the audience attention by blanking the screen by pressing the B key. Body language is also an important part of communication that very few actually study, yet it makes up most of what we use to communicate. It is generally much more accurate of what we are trying to bring across as compared to words. Here are a few tips to maintain a good body language. Show confidence by pulling back shoulders and standing upright, and vary facial expressions according to what you are saying. For example, raise your voice or speak slower if you want your audience to listen carefully to an important point you are trying to bring across. Also, as mentioned earlier, Try to stand closer to the audience so that they will pay more attention to you. In class, if your teacher walks towards you, you will naturally pay more attention, am I right? These are some of the points that we should not do while presenting, as it will portray low confidence and distraction to the audience. Unnecessary shuffling, leaning onto something, rocking, swaying, or moving unnecessarily. Clicking or playing with your pen or anything that you are holding which might cause a distraction. Shuffling your notes unnecessarily. Playing or touching your clothing. And remove coins or keys in your pockets to prevent rattling noise. To be professional, we should not repeatedly use a gesture. Try to vary your body actions, for example, your arm movements. Do not look or bite your fingernails, cross your arms, use unnatural gestures, eat something, or crack your knuckles. Eye contact is very important as a presenter, as it helps you to gain more attention from the audience. It is also a form of respect to have eye contact with the person you are having a conversation with. It makes the audience feel like they are being influenced and involved with what you are saying. However, you should not stare at someone continuously too. Lastly, catch eye contacts in a similar motion. For example, from left to center, then to right, and repeat the process. Some vocal and verbal tips are to speak with enthusiasm. Maintain your tone while varying the rate and pitch so as not to bore your audience. Use pauses to create emphasis on important points. Ensure that the content is interesting, useful, appropriate, and understandable for your audience. And practice difficult words before the presentation. Lastly, we will talk about stage fright and how to overcome them. Stage frights are common, especially if it is your first few times doing a presentation. To manage a stage fright, you should stay calm, be natural, practice deep breathing and visualization techniques, and concentrate on the message that you are delivering. In preparation to your presentation, you should check the place that you are presenting at and rehearse for a few times to familiarize yourself and prepare. In summary, presentation skills is something that you need to have as it will help you in the future. You must have the confidence in talking to a group of people and deliver your message across correctly. We have come to the end of the presentation skills lecture. We hope you have gained more insights about giving a presentation. Should you have any questions pertaining to this lecture, feel free to approach any of your cadet inspectors. Thank you.